it's very similar. The airline industry compared to the mortgage loan industry, high comparability, maximum price for intense competition. But if the long distance flight is your mortgage loan, with whom would you prefer to fly? With the low budget airline? It's cheap, but you have limited space. You have to pay for everything separately. You don't get any food or drinks, and you will afterwards maybe say to your friends, I will never fly with this airline again. Or would you prefer to fly with a full service airline? The next one. Thank you. You're sitting in the seat that you have chosen very comfortably. You get free food, free drinks, you have board entertainment. You don't have to care about the overweight of your luggage. I'm not sure about the basket of fruits though, but you have a great experience and you arrive relaxed at your final destination. Yes, so the point I would like to make here, we can go on to the next one. Yes, and another one, please. Thank you. The point I would like to make here is that one airline or one bank can succeed by being the cheapest, but the other ones have to think about how can I add value for my customers? How can I provide an outstanding customer experience? And this is actually the topic of today. So, I have realized there are 3 key success factors. So the first one is that you need to know and deeply understand the pains and gains of your customers. We heard it already, this is the foundation for everything that we do. Second, customers have different preferences. Some of them prefer online, some of them prefer offline, most of them prefer a combination out of that. So your customer experience, the customer journey that you offer needs to take into account that there are different preferences. And number 3, create a win-win situation. The manager in me, it has to be profitable. So it has to be a win situation for your customers, but also for your company. And now I know what you think. We can switch to the next one. I know what my customers want. I am in this business for decades. Or the next one, fair enough, but I don't have any IT resources left. Or the last one, I sell via platforms. I don't need a customer experience or a customer journey for my clients. So those are sentences that I hear a lot in my daily work. This is why I would like to jump right away into our case study. So we supported a financial institution with the goal of providing this outstanding experience to their customers, providing added value to the customers in order to compete in the market. And of course, we followed those 3 key success factors. I will repeat the first one. Can tick 2? Yes. Deeply understand the customer pains and gains. And what we did, we talked to them. So we interviewed many customers, potential customers, customers of other banks, people who are interested in owning a home. And we asked them about their experience, about the status quo. And we summarized all of those key takeaways that we got in a customer experience map. Okay, next one. Unfortunately, it's very small now. But this is a customer experience map. Who of you has seen something like this already? Yeah, awesome, great. So the customer experience map shows the customer journey. It is separated into various phases of the customer journey. And what was surprising for the bank is that for the customer, the journey doesn't start with entering the banking branch, talking to the banking advisor, but it starts much earlier with the first desire of owning a home. I want to create a home for my family. I want to live in a house or in an apartment that I own by myself. This is the start of the customer journey. And it also doesn't end with signing the mortgage loan contract. It ends with moving in. So if you think of the customer's perspective, you also need to make sure that you get the full picture. What we also included are emotions and feelings, thoughts and feelings. So we realized that customers have a lot of insecurities when it comes to mortgage loan. Is it the right timing? Is the property worth the price? Is the interest rate okay? What is the difference between variable, fixed interest rate, and so on and so forth? It is very complex and overwhelming for them. We also can see the emotional up and down. That's the line in the middle. There are highs when customers find the dream property. There are lows when they realize they can't afford it. And you can see that it goes up and down. And there are various touch points included. So customers talk to their family members, they talk to their friends and ask for recommendations. And they also use web pages, for example, to get information. However, it is overwhelming. So what we did, we printed it out. It was more than 4 meters long, so very, very impressive. And we hung it up in the department for mortgage loan at the respective bank. And it was eye-opening for them. It was the first time that they had the full picture of this customer journey and that it was visible what are the customer's pains and gains. And this was the foundation for the steps that we took afterwards. This one, thank you. Offer a customer journey for individual preferences. Next one, please. So start small. We did a custom experience map for the retail customers. We also did an experience map for banking advisors. And we identified that there is one pain they share, and it is gathering documents. So we saw in the custom experience map, this was a pain for both, and this is why we said we want to address this first. We used our modular solution, digital document management. We had it live within 3 weeks, and we created an impact immediately. It was a better process, more transparency for the customer, and it was more efficient for the bank advisor. So afterwards, we started adding more and more modules along the way. Here a calculator, there data entries, feedback along the way for transparency, financing check, and so on and so forth. And this iterative approach allowed us to make sure after each and every model that we are still meeting the customer pains. So for every model, we went back to the customers. We asked them, is this the solution to your pain? Is this understandable? Is it intuitive to use? And only if yes, we used it. Meet the customers where they are in the journey. This is a very important thing because as we saw, the customer journey is very long. If they come to your web page, you don't have any information where they are in the customer journey. So you don't know anything about their intention. Do they want to use a calculator? Do they want to prepare for a meeting with their banking advisor? Or do they need a mortgage loan ASAP because otherwise they won't get their dream house? You don't know anything about it. So we made a very easy decision. We said, okay, we will ask the client. So we created a digital decision tree, not a complex model. And always when the user entered the web page, he was asked 3 to 5 questions. And with this information, we knew exactly where he was in the customer journey. And with this information, we were able to provide him with all the relevant stuff he needed, with tools, with services, with information, without overwhelming them. And this was a game changer because it increased the conversion rate significantly. Not overwhelming them, but providing them the information that they needed in the step they are. And the last thing, build long-lasting customer relationship, the topic that we just discussed. And I guess many of you sell mortgage loans also via platforms, fair enough, but you need to make sure that you don't become an intermediary rather than a direct service provider. You are a bank. If you can't engage with the client, if you can't get directly in contact with them, you cannot convince them of your services and your quality. On the platform, it's all about price. It's all about comparability. So how to convince them of your added value. So it is important that you know that it is totally fine to sell via platforms, but it won't replace your digital transformation and offering added value directly to the customer in order to build those relationships. And the third and last key success factor, create this win-win situation for you and your customers. We also saw it yesterday or heard it yesterday in the field of wealth management. People are willing to do stuff online in self-service. They enter data, they upload documents, they use e-identification, e-signature, and so on and so forth. But what I see is that banks don't benefit from that. So what we did, we created an API layer a bit technical on this side. This API layer we connected to all of the digital tools of the bank and to the internal systems. So whenever a client went on the web page, used digital tools, entered data, upload documents, and decided, oh, I want to switch channel, I want to go to the branch, the data was directly transferred to the internal systems. And this created two advantages. First of all, the bank advisor had everything available already before the first meeting with the client, and the customer had an individual offer already in this meeting. So we speed up the process, and we also made it more efficient. We even took it a step further. We added more and more APIs to this API layer: property valuation, creditworthiness. Thank you, people from CRIF. We also added your API, risk scoring, and so on. And this allowed us to provide the user with feedback to his financing application in real time, instantly. And also the bank advisor had all of this information up front. So it is a win-win situation for both sides. Good. I'm almost at the end of my presentation, just to make sure you don't forget the 3 key success factors. Deeply understand the pains and gains of your customers. This is the focus of your digital transformation. Offer a customer journey that allows individual preferences, switching channels without losing data. And the third one, create a win-win situation for you and your customers. Thank you very much. I also brought one AI example with me. If you use this QR code, you will be guided to an AI-generated landing page of my presentation today. So it is AI-generated, just I uploaded my documentation, my presentation, I added my LinkedIn profile, and yeah, the web page was done within seconds. If you want to know more about us, about our service offering, get in contact and enjoy the rest of the conference. Thank you.